Hello and welcome back to MDG Media for the conclusion of the 2024 Copenhagen Open. It's the first Elite Series of the year in Europe. Excited to bring you this coverage by MDG Media. My name is Elias Luukkonen and I am here with Maxime Tanghe. How are you doing, Max?
Good, man. Good to be with you and to comment on the last round of the FPO field. It's going to be an interesting battle. I think Kaidi is in the lead right now. A lot of control on her side since the start of the event. So yeah, pretty thrilled.
Yeah, you already mentioned Kaidi being the last year's champion of this very same event. She has been playing solid so far. Even in round 2, had a great comeback after not the greatest of starts.
And second on the tee, we'll have Eveliina in the chase. I'm pretty sure she has 4 strokes to gain back. She has the experience. She just won a major title, so let's see if she's able to make it.
And third, we have Silva Saarinen, one of the most exciting players to watch. Insane putter from any sort of range, from inside of circle 1 or even outside of circle 2.
And Jenni Karppinen from Finland. She's rising more and more year after year. She was, nicely visible last season, so let's see if she's able to rise up right now. Hole 1.
Yeah, hole 1. A challenging but very scoreable starting hole. Off the tee you want to throw something straight with a nice left finish, hopefully get past the Mando tree. And from there, if you have a perfect drive, the approach is quite simple, just a low ceiling and some OB to contend with.
Welcome first up on tee.
Yeah, definitely more OB or maybe not more, but it's definitely tighter than the previous years. I was surprised when I arrived there playing the practice round.
Let's give it up for Kaidi Allsalu.
Kaidi starting off. It's really gonna be a key to her round. What way she can start off, getting that lead, hopefully keeping it early and growing it early is gonna be ideal. And that shot is going to help with it. She's going to be inbounds on the left side.
On the tee with a hot round
a bit early.
Yesterday of -10 and a total of -11 on 121 strokes. Also a DGPT winner and a major winner this year. Representing Innova and from Pirkala in Finland. Let's give it up, Eveliina Salonen.
And Eveliina coming off from a major win. Such an incredible player, has been for many years. Super good on the drives. Putting usually kind of what lets her down, but that's a good drive as expected on the left side.
Third up on tee with a total score of 124 throws. Last round of -3 and a total of -8 from Oiti in Finland. Let's give it up for Silva Saarinen.
Representing MVP this year. Interesting move.
Yeah, I think paying off for MVP pretty well so far. She has been playing really good in the US in the early season.
And the last player in the FPO division, Copenhagen Open 24 to tee out, is from Turku in Finland with a total of 128 throws and a total of -4. Sponsored by Prodigy. Let's give it up, Jenni Karppinen.
And good to have her on an elite, event lead card. Bring some experience to her wallet.
Yeah, for sure. Jenni as well did go to the US for a couple of tournaments early in the year. So this not being one of the first events of the year for her, and that's going to be a good drive to start off. Everybody in pretty good position for the birdie.
I'm just wondering if Eveliina was in bounds or not on the left side. She was pretty tight. And a good approach from Silva.
Let's see, Jenni here, good angle to the green. Has to contend with that low ceiling a little bit, and this is a little bit high, challenging the branches and the left side OB. She's right on the line there. We'll have to see whether that's in bounds or not.
And Kaidi with a tight angle, but good control. C1's edge, maybe a bit more.
Yeah, and looks like Eveliina here is in bounds by a meter or so. Looking to aim for this tighter inside gap. And she has hit it too high. And that has a risk of rolling to the OB on the left side. And looks like that's exactly what might have just happened there. She was either OB or very close to it. And that's another tough miss to the left.
Uncommon mistake from Eveliina. So comfortable on the approach. Very touchy.
And you have to keep in mind that, you know, Kaidi already has a multiple stroke lead, and that's going to help the lead, especially with Eveliina going OB. Kaidi with an incredible start. That's such a confident stroke.
Yeah, she's so comfortable on the dancing floor, as Silva is. Showing confidence. Good birdie to start off the round. And do we have a switch for the second place? I'm pretty sure we have. Good cleanup for Jenni. Yeah, that's a triple bogey.
Yeah, that's a tough way to start off the round on a hole that, you know, it was playing a little bit difficult, averaging 3/4 of a stroke above par. But that's not going to be the case on hole number 2 here. Very short par 4, only 121 meters. Does offer an opportunity for aggressive play if you want to cut the corner to the right and try to go directly towards the basket. A lot of players also trying to play something straight and set up for a short approach with a few trees to contend with. Really the danger on the approach is the OB long or hitting some of the guardian trees. It's a pretty simple hole. You really want the birdie here.
I'm wondering how it's possible to reach the basket from this tee pad. And a good shot, good control.
I think there's this tight gap kind of on the right side of the real gap that you have to go through if you want to throw like a turnover shot to the basket. But these players playing it smart, really no sense this early in the round to try to do something too dramatic, as Silva is in good position there on the left side.
Maybe Eveliina needs it now. Be a bit more aggressive. Creative. Good shot from Jenni.
Yeah, interesting to see. It looks like she is holding a faster disc. And yeah, she's trying to go inside. Very aggressive play. And wow, that's a pretty good result. In putting distance. Jenni there a little bit early on the forehand, and Silva very early on the backhand. I believe she was trying to go right side of the tree that she went left of. That's going to leave a long putt and kind of a difficult approach. You really have to hit some gaps here.
Yeah. Kaidi. Another good shot.
And let's Let's see where Eveliina has ended up. Yeah, a little bit on the right side bushes, but this is well within putting distance. Just about 11 or 12 meters. You see the orange marker is the circle one's edge. And not quite able to draw medal, but she's gonna be good for the birdie.
An aggressive line from Silva, just too high, catching the bend. Kaidi, good bird.
Yeah, Kaidi is looking very dialed in early in the round. That lead already gonna be stretched out to 8 strokes after Eveliina has stepped in the birdie of hers on this relatively simple hole too. It's playing below par on average, which not that many holes on the course do. There are definitely more holes playing above par. And this is one of the harder holes, or at least one of the holes playing above par, quite in the middle of the pack as far as difficulty. 267 meters, a lengthy par 5. You have to go for either a big Anheuser shot, a forehand, or some players trying to cut the corner of the tree and go through the woods, making this hole much shorter. Your second shot is all about distance. Try to get as far down the fairway as possible, setting yourself up with a touchy approach through those last trees. You can also go for a big hyzer on the approach on either side.
Yeah, and maybe Eveliina is the only one able to go for an eagle. She needs this one.
Yeah, potentially. So she's going for the inside line, which does have much more distance potential, though she has hit one of the last trees on the gap and kicked far left, hopefully not all the way to the OB.
Yep, good job from Silva out of the rough.
And everybody going through the inside gap. Not that surprising on this hole. The inside gap does make the hole about 30 meters shorter than if you go around the outside. Everybody's out on the field. Let's see Eveliina crush a long shot here. Good rip on the disc. Trying to keep it on the fairway, a little bit on the left side to open up that angle, hopefully.
Yeah, she's up there. Should attack the basket for the bird.
And Kaidi more left. That's going to be a better angle for the Anheuser or even a straight shot through the last trees. Similar thing for Silva. It's really a dealer's choice of like what you're going to do on the approach.
Exactly, and Silva with no run-up, even in a big field like this. It's pretty special to see that. And Kuba caddying for Jenni.
Yeah, I'm impressed to see both Jakub and Jenni caddying for each other pretty much every round. It must be pretty tough, you know, walking 2 rounds on the course. But happy to see them doing that. We have seen a couple of approaches not quite parked. Neither is this one.
Jenni low line. Good approach, 4 or 5 meters.
That's a nice run, Silva. That's a good range for her, having that, you know, fast arm putt, having good speed and spin on the disc. Let's see Kaidi with a stepper, but not quite.
Wow, almost. I think she was exactly at that spot on the second round. Good bird for Jenni.
Yeah, it's a good one to get for sure. As it's playing as par 5, it's, very possible to birdie, but still on this hole, more bogeys than birdies in the field. Of course, these top players are rather trying to get the birdie to gain some strokes, and that's what they have done so far.
From top competition to the new players. From supporting women to funding new courses. PDGA Europe is much more than competition. Visit pdga.com/join and grow the sport.
Moving to hole number 4, 116 meters, a lengthy par 3. You need that hard-thrown driver shot here if you want to get all the way to the basket. A bit of a gap to contend with off the tee, but the gap is not too tight. It's more of an open hole still than a gap-hitting hole. All about controlling that flight of the disc, try to fly forward, and with that slight left finish at the end. Elevated basket though, making for some difficult putts here, even from inside the circle.
An amazing hole. I really love this one.
Yeah, agreed. It's very nice to see the disc flying at this distance, and Jenni with a beautiful shot, hanging it out to the right like you want. And even though it looked wide out of the hand, showing that the basket is really not that far left, it's only a few meters left of the straight line.
Wow, Kaidi. She seems so calm, so confident. In the zone, no stress she has. Eveliina and Silva Saarinen just behind her. Oh yeah.
Yeah, incredible 3 shots already on the hole. Being inside the circle is definitely not a given on this hole, as it's one of the not the most often birdied hole. Only 9% of the field getting the birdie on this one, and we have a chance to claim a lot of those 9% on our card.
Oh, just a bit early for Silva.
And let's see, Jenni here, furthest out of the bunch, only about 6 meters away, showing off how incredible all of the 3 drives were. Let's see, Kaidi here, continuing the hot start of her, and she has done it off the top. Looks like everything's going her way right now.
Yeah, 3 down through 4. In the zone, she has 9 strokes. Maybe 8. Yeah, it will be 8, my bad. Eveliina is parked. And look at this, Elias. I've seen this twice this weekend. I'm not sure what to think about this. Is it the basket? I don't know.
Yeah, I think just basket's not really being that responsive to putts going very far upwards, especially if they're flat. Like you see Eveliina having that nose up putt into the chains, not really falling out the same way. But yeah, that's super unfortunate, and I think something we probably have to deal with as a sport, make the baskets more consistent at different angles. But yeah, moving on to hole number 5. A tricky par 3, not that tricky for getting a bogey, but a very tricky for how difficult it is to get in the circle. A lot of good drives ending in circle 2. You want that super late right finish, but with a low ceiling, it's just difficult to move as far right as you would like.
Yeah, interesting hole. Roller, turnover, forehand, a lot of options for the righties. Yeah, and Jenni needed a bit more angle, I'd say. or something more understable.
Yeah, it seems it's a pretty common play in FPO to try to just hang it out wide with a turnover. Kaidi, though, with a nice looking shot, getting that turn at the very end. And she's gonna be within putting distance. Let's see if Eveliina can do something similar. This looks a little bit early, though, on the turn.
Okay, and same for Silva. Straight line. Shall I have a look?
Yeah, seems like both Jenni and Silva weren't really that interested in trying to get down there for a birdie putt, inside of circle one. But it's a valid way to play the hole. They probably know that almost nobody is birdieing this one. Kaidi not quite getting it up in the tailwind. Same thing for Eveliina. The wind coming off from the big water area we have. That's actually the warm-up field. Shout out to the tournament. This tournament had the best warm-up field I have ever seen in a tournament. It was huge, many baskets, and so much space to throw the disc.
Good shootout. As Jenni is she seems to be in a comfortable spot, no mistakes. I like the play until now.
Yeah, for sure. She's gonna have to do something similar on the rest of the holes if she wants to catch the good play of Kaidi so far. Hole number 6, 102 meters. It's a tunnel shot if you want it, but if you're scared to hit that tunnel or just don't feel comfortable doing it, you can do a wide anhyzer shot with a backhand or even wide hyzer with a forehand. But I expect most of the players to be going straight down the tunnel. That's the best way if you want to get into circle 1 on this hole.
And Jenni first on the box. Did she went through?
I didn't see. I think she might have hit that one thick guardian bush.
And Kaidi's out. Good shot.
Yeah, Kaidi is looking so comfortable right now. And I guess it's pretty easy to be comfortable when you have so many strokes as the leader. And Silva also with a decent shot, kind of tickling the edge of that bush, not quite getting all the way to the basket. Let's see, Eveliina. This is a good hole for her, I think. That nice, powerful, low-driven fairway.
Keep going. Yeah, needed a bit more height, but perfect line. She's just outside C1. She now needs to capitalize.
Let's see if Silva actually runs this. There's a bit of a low ceiling that she does end up catching. That's what makes it so difficult on this green to run those longer putts, as the green is a little bit fast. The ground is very slidey, but then you also have that low ceiling, so you need to put a lot of spin and ideally some nose up if you want to run it from circle 2.
Open champion, Copenhagen!
Moving on to the island hole. Hole 7, 93 meters, playing as a par 3 with the island that is relatively large. Really the only way that the island affects this hole is that if you go too far, if you go past the basket, you don't go to the OB line where you crossed, but rather to a drop zone that is outside the circle on the short side. So a lot of players trying to keep their drive just a couple of meters short of the basket to not risk that long OB. You really have some choices. You can go backhand, forehand. Usually a nice straight shot is good here.
Good drive from Eveliina after her good birdie on the previous one. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be OB long for Kaidi. I'm not sure. Eveliina might have bounced back from the OB. The players are clearly not doing as I expected to keep the drives a little bit short, but rather going all the way to the basket. Let's see if Silva can do a better job of managing the distance. And she can, though the line is a little bit off. That will be a scary putt fading towards the OB.
Yeah, she's comfortable on the green. She should be okay. And Jenni will try to gain the stroke back, a bit short.
So this is the drop zone that you go to after going OB. And Kaidi is smartly just laying it up. It's not a bad play from there, especially if you have 8 strokes on second place.
Wow. Dead center. Showing all the skill she has on the dancing floor.
Yeah, she's so casual with it too, like it doesn't look difficult at any time. As Eveliina with also good cleanup there for the birdie. Taking a couple of strokes back.
Yeah, colorful scorecards for Eveliina. And we have now 6 strokes between Kaidi and Eveliina.
And this hole also setting up for some stroke swings. Hole number 8. A very short hole, only 68 meters, and the shot is pretty simple. Just throw it perfectly straight. If you hit the gap and throw it straight, you're gonna be in the circle pretty much every time. But if you miss the gap, there is no telling whether your disc is gonna be on the fairway or off the fairway. You could even bogey this very short hole. Double bogey is not really possible unless you miss some putts, but a birdie to bogey swing is very much possible here.
Stand still. Yeah, puring the gap. Oh, good kick on the left side tree. It's gonna be a bullseye hit for Eveliina. Almost perfect for Silva. Yeah, I'd say.
Let's see, Jenni also with a standstill. Very controlled looking, though a little bit heavy on the hyzer angle, so she did finish out to the left, and that's gonna be circle 2 after the tree hit. Let's see, Kaidi, very important shot here, trying to not lose another stroke.
Whoa, it was a really early release. And she's now in trouble. Not able to scramble from the woods. Super tight gaps when you're in the rough on that hole.
Yeah, and looking like a very potential 2-stroke swing here, unless Kaidi can hit this putt. Good run, but not quite. Eveliina is pretty much parked there on the edge of the bullseye. Let's see, Silva had a good putt for the birdie first though. No surprises there.
Dialed in. 2 amazing putts back to back. And back under the par. So, Kaidi 16 down. And Eveliina potentially going to go 12. 4 strokes, lost in 2 holes. Careful.
And that's a good birdie there. Going for a nice streak of 3 in a row. As we're moving on to the final hole of the front 9. Hole number 9. A short par 4 of 156 meters, but very wooded. You have this gap you have to hit off the tee and move far right. You need to hit the gap and move aggressively to the right to open up your gaps to the green. Really a choice of whether you're on the right side of the left side of the fairway. You can choose to hit the right side gaps or the left side gaps. Quite rarely are you in the same position twice in a row on this hole.
Yeah, lots of options. Roller, forehand, turnover. You can enjoy a large panel of throws. That's pretty cool. I like this one.
Yeah, Eveliina showed a good forehand there. Let's see Silva get some turn on this. And gets a late turn, really good shot. Edging out on the left side of the fairway. But she's going to be in prime position there.
Turnover shot for Jenni also. Good one.
Yeah, really well done by the first 3. Let's see if Kaidi can follow a little bit more inside on the shot. And that's too far inside. She's gonna be scrambling. Still a chance to get up there for a very long chance. And a putt. I believe that was Eveliina's sister maybe in the picture. Nice to see family supporting her.
Yeah, she was with her all weekend. It was pretty cool. Good support, as you're saying. I think she's pretty happy to be back in Europe. Close to the family. I think all the guys traveling to the US are now talking about Europe like home. It's pretty interesting to hear.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, it seems like a reoccurring theme on what all of them talked about was also the courses feeling more familiar, these more technical, shorter courses compared to the long ones in the US. Though our players are struggling a little bit on this short technical par 4. Not the greatest of approaches, though Eveliina with a good cleanup here for the par.
Yeah, good one. Just around Silva. Jump putting from 30-35. Comfortable. And Kaidi patent pending footing.
Yeah, good control on that patent pending shot. Quite easy to do a bit of a grip lock or an early release from that stance. As Jenni gets a good par. Once again, it's a pretty short par 4, so you can maybe get a bogey if you throw some bad shots, but getting a double or anything more is not really possible. And even our players throwing some errant shots, they are going to walk away with pars.
Yeah, so par frame. It's a hole everybody likes to birdie. Nobody on the group. And it's pretty tight on top, huh?
Yeah, the gap between Eveliina and Kaidi got a little bit smaller. Kaidi still, I'd say, with a comfortable lead though. And thank you, Max, for commentating with me on this front nine. This is gonna be an exciting finish. Hope to see all of you viewers on the back nine, where we cover last holes of the first Elite Series in Europe this year. See you there.
Yeah, thank you, Elias, and thank you for watching, guys. See you on the back nine.